Predator in 3D, a 1987 film, a 1 hour and 47-minute film. This is English DTS HD audio 5.1. Original aspect ratio is 1.85 to 1. This is 1.78 to 1. You'll still get a nice big beautiful screen on the projector. 7.8 out of 10 on Internet Movie Database. This is 80% critics approval score on Rotten Tomatoes and 87% audience approval score on Rotten Tomatoes. Directed by John McTiernan, and you know I'm going to mispronounce these names. That's just what I do. Written by Jim and John Thomas. We're going to talk about a lot about this, folks, but I just want to go through this real quick. You got Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dutch. You've got Carl Weathers as Dylan. He's like a friend to Arnold during this movie. You got Elpidia Carrillo as Anna. She's a beautiful Mexican actress, and I think she went on to do a few other things, and I may have mispronounced her name. In fact, I'm probably guaranteed about that one. Bill Duke is Mac. Bill Duke, great actor here, really got vested in his character. Jesse Ventura is Blaine. He has a few cheesy lines in here. One line he says, somebody tells him he's bleeding, he goes, "I don't have time to bleed." And anyway, he became, he went on to become a governor, so did Arnold Schwarzenegger. You got Sonny Lindeman here as Billy. He's a tracker. They were going to get a Native American tracker, but they worked it out with this Billy. He's a tracker in here. Sonny Lindeman is the tracker. Kevin Pete Hall, he plays the Predator. He's a really tall guy. He plays the Predator. The producer says, we got these big guys on the set. We can't have a short Predator. I mean, you got Jesse Ventura, you got Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's got to be taller. And so they got this guy, really nice guy, Kevin Pete Hall. He done a few movies before this, I think, or stage acting. I can't remember. And he suffered in his Predator suit, man. This suit weighed 200 pounds. He suffered so much that they gave him a cameo at the end. He's actually the pilot in the helicopter at the end of the film. Filmed in Mexico in a real jungle. I'll tell you, folks, these green screen cowboy popcorn actors today with the red dots all over their face doing the motion capture, and then they put in the green screen in the jungle in the background. These guys were in the jungle. 1987, in the jungle. They heard gunfire over the border in Guatemala at night, okay? Real gunfire. They worked with leeches, stinking muddy ponds in the jungle, snakes, spiders, scorpions, you name it. You name it, it was there. I knew they were there. When Billy the Tracker cuts a vine with his machete and it goes through like butter and water comes pouring out and he's drinking it, I've cut vines like that here in the jungles in Florida. That's right, Florida's not just beaches and orange groves. I've surveyed out in the jungles for 40 years, and I've cut vines like that, and they pour water out just like that. I never drank it, but I used it to cool down, things like that. So yeah, filmed in Mexico in the actual place, okay? They had the heat of the day, they had the coldness of the night. You could see it in their breath at night. They're all freezing at night. Arnold's got to have this mud all over him, and actually some of it was potter's clay because they had to get it to stick. And then he's cold, he's in the water, they put heat lamps on him, but then that would dry out the mud. And so I'm telling you, this is real, this is really, really filming. And then you got the cameramen had bad ground to work on. They had slopes and things like this. They couldn't get the cameras level all the time. So it was a challenge for everybody, not just for the actors. I mean, it was a challenge for everybody. And Arnold lost 25 pounds for this film because he wanted to get in shape. Arnold had a gym flown out, and he'd work out at 3 in the morning. Arnold would work out at 3 in the morning, and then Weathers would come in and he'd work out after him, but he didn't want Arnold to see him working out because he wanted Arnold to think that's the way he always looked. So that's some pretty cool stuff here. When they filmed this guy, they had a red suit. The Predator was in a red suit because the jungle's green. They couldn't use green. Guy's in a red suit. And he's going through the motions, and then they filmed the scene again without him, but a wide-angle lens, and so so then the jungle just when they color coded him out, the red out, the jungle just filled in the background. That's how they did it. It's amazing. I mean, it was you can't call that CGI. I guess it's done with optics. The whole concept was a joke about Rocky. This whole movie the whole concept was a joke. Somebody said that Rocky's fought everybody now, and the only person he's got left to fight would be an alien. So these two guys are Jim and John Thomas. They come up with the script, based on that premise, but they called it The Hunter. Well, nobody was interested. and they just happened to slip it under a producer's door, and the producer picked it up, and we have The Predator. So don't give up. If you're a screenwriter, don't give up. All right, the Predator's blood was actually a mix of KY jelly and the stuff inside the glow sticks. It was supposed to be orange, but they couldn't get it to work, so somebody suggested the glow sticks, so that's pretty cool. They actually had to hire bodyguards to protect people from the actor Sonny Landham, who plays the tracker, because he had a short temper and he was known to lose it. And so the studio wouldn't they had to hire bodyguards if he was going to be on the set to protect people from him. All right, he's the tracker in here. The Rebel Camp is now a tourist attraction in Mexico. In case you're interested, you want to go. Arnold actually left the set to go get married. He was filming and he ran off. He got married and he was gone for like 7, 8, 10 days. And he came back and he started filming again. Okay, and his bride came out and they played some pranks on him, put some frogs in their showers and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. So Jean-Claude Van Damme, he was going to play the Predator, but he had trouble with the suit and he wasn't tall. Well, they said they needed somebody taller, and the suit weighed 200 pounds when they got done with it. And because it weighed 200 pounds, the tree that the Predator's standing on, it has to be made of solid concrete. 300 Mexicans crew showed up to help with the filming. They only needed 100, but they had 300, so it turned out to be quite a fiasco there. They had to let some of them go. The sound score, let's talk about the sound score. The sound score, and even my son said this. First of all, let me just say this. My son suggested that we watch this movie. I've been putting it off for a while because of various things I heard about it. But finally, I watched Go Find Fun's review, I said, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a shot. My son said, let's give it a shot. And so my son and I, we both were watching this, and they're in the jungle, and this music score, it's kind of ruining the film. I mean, we would have been better with no music in that first half. Maybe some cricket noises, some jungle noises. I mean, because it's a spot in the movie where there's not really suspense going on. All right, they're just traveling through the jungle, and you got this music just hammering. They could have backed it off. Now I will say this, because the guy that wrote the music score, he got some accolades for it, but the second half was much better. Second half, much better. On the music score, there's that little thing in the beginning. Let's talk about the 3D a little bit. There's a thing in the beginning that says, put your 3D glasses on now. So we did. The opening deep space scene is an incredible 3D experience. The deep space. It starts out just one deep space, and the stars are way back in the screen, and out of that screen comes a spaceship and drops a little something down on Earth. And that 3D scene is absolutely amazing. There's some negative parallax. You will have some, when heads stick out of the screen, or some guns, there are some negative parallax sticking out. So you will get things kind of sticking in the room a little bit, but you're not going to get any flyouts. Great depths, great immersive depths into the jungle. Looking down, you feel like you're there. You feel, especially some of these shots where the guys are standing in the foreground and the jungle's back there. You could just see way to the back. It's incredible. Great jungle scenes. Good separation of the plants too. Pop-outs. There are pop-outs. There are some sparks and debris that's going to come popping out, flying out into the screen. My favorite 3D scene. Now I'm going to start trying to mention that. My favorite 3D scene of each movie. This one is at the end of the movie when the helicopters are going and there's some smoke blowing around. That smoke literally blows right out of the screen into the room. It's amazing. The smoke just coming out right into the room. I love that 3D scene, my favorite scene. All right, so that's my take on Predator 3D. So what did you think? Did you see it? Did you see it in 1987 in the theaters? Did you see it in 3D? Have you seen it in 2D? Leave some comments below and let me know. Is this, on that famous line of Arnold's, get to the chopper. I don't remember it that way, okay? I remember it as, get to the chopper, get to it now. And I don't know where I picked that second part up, but it's not in this film. If somebody can tell me where I've heard that, unless I'm just all make-believe in it, but I gotta swear he had said that in this film. All right, so I'm going to give Predator 3D, I'm going to give it 4.0 for the movie. I'm going to give it 4.0 for the 3D. I hope you enjoyed this. Hit that like and subscribe button. I want you to have a good night. Stay safe. Got a lot more reviews coming. As always, God bless.